Hello, welcome to Healing Fire. My name is Judie. We're just joining in here. Gonna wait for people to come on in. While we're at it, everything on this video and on my channel is for entertainment and spiritual purposes only. So I have a few questions that people have sent me, and I have some things that I have my own notes that we're going to read on tonight. I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit and wait for some people to come on in. So hope everybody's been doing well. I just got home from work, took care of my doggo, and now I'm with you. So thank you very much for joining. Really appreciate it. If you could make sure to hit the like and the subscribe and share with anybody you think would be interested. I greatly appreciate it. Comments are always appreciated. At least 7 characters long seem to help the algorithm. So always appreciate that. Hi, Texas T. How are you? Glad you are here. Cynthia. Hi, welcome. I'm glad that you didn't miss tonight as well. Hi, Ginger. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Just going to hang out a few minutes and let people kind of come on in. If there are any questions that you might have that you want me to address tonight, go ahead and pop it in the chat. I have a few that people have sent me, and then I have some of my own things. So we'll see how much gets covered tonight. All kinds of things going on. I just got home from work, so I'm tired, and I have my coffee in my Ghost Lay Queen cup. My bestie made it for me. I love it. Ah, thank you, Texas T. I'm doing all right. Just tired. Working all day. Weekends, I work in retail, so weekends are always bananas. And, our busiest day of the week is Saturday, and next to it is probably Sunday. And then it takes us all week to recover from that. Been there. Yes. Yeah. So, whew, goodness gracious. So, yeah, I don't even know how I started this, but I have a coffee cup collection apparently. I have this rack on one of my walls in the kitchen that I have a whole bunch of coffee cups on. And so now everybody gets me coffee cups, and I have more coffee mugs than I have space for. So I need to periodically get rid of them. But the problem is I really like them all. So I don't want to get rid of them. So, hi, Mojo Kitty. Glad to see you as well. Cynthia, I'm sure everybody already knows, but Hawaii just joined California, Oregon, Washington Health Coalition. Yes, which I read on live number 5. Exactly. Yeah, I did hear about that. In fact, I think you may have mentioned it on that, or somebody did. Probably it was you. I think it was you. Yes, so excited. So excited. So we have Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii all doing their own health coalition. Cheers. Just slurping a little caffeine. Keep me going. Oh my goodness. How's everybody doing? You hanging in there with this full moon? Has anybody set intentions for their full moon? I set some, and I'm working on my action plan. I already failed on some things. So trying to figure out how I'm gonna make some things work. Ever evolving life schedule. I'm looking at my notes. I have my intentions set next to me. So did you guys set any intentions or do anything for full moon at all? Anyone? Texas T says, I'm not sure if you want to read on this, but I was wondering why all of a sudden Mega is saying Pete Buttigieg isn't gay and they want to prove it. They're looking for they're just trying a distraction tactic. They're trying everything they can to take the news cycle off of F-45 and Epstein. So anything they can do to be a part of their wackadoodle agenda. Cynthia, yes, setting intentions. I have a lot of small projects, mostly crafting to keep my hands busy while I clean out my mind, which is a big job. Yes. Mojo Kitty, I work retail and I definitely felt the full moon today. Ugh, yeah. I work in a luxury jewelry store, and it is a destination. I work downtown, and it's a destination spot for anybody who comes in and out of town. So we literally see people from all over the world, and um, it gets crazy. Which also means that any bug or virus that's going around the planet comes into the store, and thus I am exposed to everything too. So my next day's off. I need to see if I can get if they'll let me have a COVID shot and flu shot and pneumonia shot and all of that, because I'd rather not get it again. Skyfire, you almost forgot I was live. Yeah, cloudy. I know. That's um we've been really cloudy the last few days, and I think our fall is beginning to set in. We're still warm. See what it was today, but the last couple of days it was still getting into the 90s, but it was really cloudy, so it was humid, which is ugh. Today was high of 77, it says, so that's not too bad. Even with the humidity, it's not too bad. Ginger is cleaning out the garage, making new intentions to get rid of things that don't serve you anymore. That's my plan. Absolutely. Yes. That's one of my projects too, is actually I need to get together my donation bag of things out of my closet, because I have a lot of stuff that I keep thinking, oh, I'll wear this, and I never do. Or things that my mom loves to give me her things, because she can't stand to donate anything, so she gives it to me, and she's like, well, if you don't like it, just okay. So I've got a lot of that, so I need to sort through a whole bunch of stuff, and my garage that's its own project. I still have boxes of things from my kids, my adult children. So I need to, my oldest son and his wife have their own house now. So I need to dig out his stuff and officially pass his things over to him. And my youngest one moved back home with me. So we have his stuff here still, but yeah, there's a lot I need to clear out as well. So garage, yeah, great project. Anything you can do that clears out and creates space, because anytime you can get rid of extra stuff too, it frees up the energy flow around you also, which is always a good thing. This office is an example. I need to clear out this office too. Mojo Kitty. Yes, oh my God, the universal health care. I just discovered a few days ago that I will no longer be eligible to get COVID vaccine, and it makes me so mad. I know. I don't know if they'll let me or not. My understanding is if they don't want you to, all you have to do is go claim a comorbidity. I mean, I'm fat, so that's mine. And if I tell them I'm getting the pneumonia shot because anytime I get sick, it goes straight to my lungs, I think if you argue, you may be able to push it. So throw out some comorbidities and to the places that do the free shots, the grocery store or whatever, and tell them that and see if they'll give it to you anyway. That's my plan. We'll see if it works. I'll let you know. Texas tea. In some states, if you're not making a lot of money, there's placing that will give you one for free. And Mojo Kitty lives in Wisconsin. I'm considering driving to Canada to get a COVID vaccine. Will they let you do that? I don't know if they'll let you do that. Will they let you do that? That's a great idea for anybody who lives in the, close enough to be able to cross the border. Although last time I tried to go into Canada, they really didn't want me to cross the border to get in. They didn't want me there. And they couldn't, they were like, when are you leaving? I mean, they didn't want me there. So I don't know. I don't know if it matters where you cross, whether it's Eastern or Western or what, but yeah, that'll be interesting. Mojo Kitty, I did smoke for about 5 years in the 90s. That might be on some sort of high risk group. Just tell them that whenever you get sick, it tends to go straight to your chest, and that you tend to get bronchitis and pneumonia, and I mean that should be a thing, maybe. Mojo Kitty, I think a person would have to pay out of pocket to go to Canada. That's fine. I'll do it, right? And get the vaccine, but it's definitely possible if it's drivable. Okay, that's cool. Cynthia at Mojo Kitty, anything less than universal health care angers me. 100% agree. I mean, every other developed country in the world has it, but our insurance companies own the politicians, which is why I love the fact that Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii are doing their own thing, because I think it's going to shake all of that up, which is, that's exciting. Yeah, a lot of Americans are having a hard time getting into and out of Canada. You don't have to let me back. I'll stay. I mean, if you let me stay, I'll stay. I used to think, oh, it's too cold, but now, now that we live in an authoritarian regime, I'm afraid to go to Canada. They may not let me back. I have orange anti-shirts, among other things. I know. They take one look at my phone, and I mean, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Send me back to Scotland or Ireland, wherever my, ancestors came from? I mean, how many generations back are we going with that, right? Yeah, I'm not sure I'd want back. That's the thing. So I have a coworker, who is going to, in a couple of weeks, he and his wife are going to England and Scotland. And all I can think of is, because she's Latina, um, I mean, they're legal citizens, but that doesn't seem to matter to ICE. So I'm thinking, are they even going to let you back in? I mean, you know, that's freaky. I don't know that I would travel if I were her right now, but um, take a burner phone, maybe that has no connection to social media. Nah, you know what? I'm sassy enough that I'm like, yeah, one, no, I'm not going to willingly give it to you. I'll probably just pack it in my luggage. No, I'm not carrying a phone. I don't have anything to, no. And no, I'm not going to give it to you. And oh, you're going to arrest me for what? Do you have a warrant to see my phone? Oh, so you're going to let me sit here for 4 hours until we, play chicken and see who blinks first? I mean, I'm that much of a pain in the patootie that I would totally do that just because. So you're going to throw me in jail because I won't show you my phone? Really? Oh yeah, let's dig into that lawsuit. Let's go. I'd love to retire. I would only because my kid is not 18 and her dad is. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Skyfire. Yeah. Yeah, see, I don't. That's my thing. Is I'd be sad because I'm my oldest is getting ready to have my first grandbaby, and of course I want to be participating grandma, but so that would be sad. But you know the rest of it, fine. Don't let me in. I'll stay in whatever country this is. Can I have asylum? Weirdos. None of this makes any sense. This is so bizarre. All right. Well, we've been chatting. It's been about 15 minutes. Okay. Well, let's get going. Uh, so I do have questions I'm going to address, but like I said before, feel free to go ahead and put comments into the chat and I can look at those as well. Skyfire says, Canada, I guess it's just going to get just as bad, especially in Alberta. Yeah. Yeah. The times we live in. I tell you what. Oh, so I have my notes here. My notes. Apparently, F-45 renamed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Doesn't he like that? Just conjured up this image of this child playing with his little army figures, going pew 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 pew. I got you. I got you. I mean, he's just such an infantile brain. It's just and it clearly he just is itching to be like China and North Korea and Russia and have the military just lock step for him and show how big and tough he is. And it's does anybody else just think he looks like an idiot? I mean, that's just all the stuff he does. It's like, you are just so dumb. Like, you're so stupid. This is ridiculous. Oh, so I think I already said this, but just to make sure, everything on here is for entertainment and spiritual purposes only. Do you have a chance to read on that boat that got blown up? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Let me make a note of that. Yeah, if it's even real. What specifically about it do you want to know on the boat? The supposed drug running boat. He is a demented man baby. I mean, he's such a juvenile mentality. It's ridiculous. And somebody wanted me to read on Barron, which I will be honest, all of Trump's children, I think Ivanka's actually intelligent. The males, Barron aside, the males, I don't want to name their names, are they're so stupid. And the only it's only because they've been handed a ton of money that they do anything with their life. I mean, they're lazy, they are stupid, they're all allegedly abusers of women and girls. And I mean, just this is my perception, take it for what it's worth, I could be wrong. But they're just complete idiots, and they're completely drugged out. And I don't think they're going to live that long because they're just destroying their bodies with drugs, like, entirely. Barron, though, how do I put this? YouTube's going to hate me for this. F-45, his energy is absolutely disgusting and all encompassing. I've said this before. Every time I picture his energy, it's like this. If you picture land, just like a flat land, and he's like this almost like asphalt tar, that just is rolling across the land. The big, huge chunk, it just rolls across the land really slow, but everything it rolls over and everything it touches just dies. And that's what I picture every time I tap into his energy. And when I tap into him specifically, it's just ew, 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 gross. I mean, ew. And oh god, he stinks. Oh my god, I don't know how anybody can stand next to him, honest to God. And for somebody who's so image conscious, you'd think he would have some hygiene. I mean, that absolutely baffles me. Except literally, he thinks his poo doesn't stink. So there's that. But his youngest spawn, if that's even his, which I have my doubts, but if that his youngest spawn, that one, 100% evil personified. Worse than F-45. Psychotic. That is the energy I have always picked up from him. I could be wrong, but that is the energy that I always pick up from him. Like we don't want him loose out in the world. He's bad news. And to have that much money and that much power with the family, it's truly frightening, honestly. Like that one worries me. That one worries me. F-45 is an idiot man baby moron, but that youngest spawn, I think, actually has the smarts, because whether it's autism or whatever it is, but he has the smarts to go with it to actually cause major damage and be completely psycho. And he frightens me. He's bad news. Just going to throw that out there. Yeah, Eric says he's going to run for president. Good luck, Eric. You're not going to be. We'll see if you stay out of prison and if you stay in this country. I kind of doubt that. I think he's going to run away to Saudi Arabia or something. Okay, let me catch up on chat after my little rant. If it's for, oh, hold on. I tapped on something in it. Regarding the boat, Skyfire, if it's real, if it is there going to be any consequences for him doing it? No. Nope. Prove it wasn't a drug run if all the intelligence says it was. No. Yeah, they don't care. There's nobody to stop them. I mean, the whole thing is that entire regime is going to be taken out. And, they're going to be taken out for treason anyway. I don't think they'll be charged for everything they've done wrong. I don't think that's even possible. But they will be charged with things that deals will be made depending on who you are, whether or not you're going to have jail time, whether you're just going to be have financial penalties, whether you're going to get permission to leave the country, all of those things, depending on who you are and how much they actually stick you with. But no, they don't care. Well, felon baby and cake's breath. Cake's breath. That's good. I haven't heard that one. That's so fitting. Will they start a war? I don't think so. I mean, I'll read on it. I don't think so. I think they'll be gone before that happens. Making a note. Cake's breath. That's fantastic. Bottom of the barrel family. Eric said he's thinking about running for. Yeah. Eric is not going to be president. That's just not going to happen. Eric is far too stupid and does not have the political connections or influence that F-45 has. He does whatever F-45 tells him to do. I think F-45 is trying to gear more Barron up to be president or whatever, but that should never be allowed to happen. Hopefully it doesn't. I mean, that one truly is nuts. So. Oh, you've heard that about, oh yeah, Eric. Okay. It's he has Trump's mouth. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even, he's just gross. I've never actually asked if it's his or not. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it is. Probably is. Couldn't tell you. But he's evil. I can tell you that much. That I can feel from him. I've always felt that. And I never said anything, when he was under 18, but he's over 18 now. He's evil. Did you see the video of the tech conference where Zuckerberg was trying to blow the smell back at Trump? No. But I did hear Zuck. I think he was F45 queued him up to say like how much he'd invested or whatever, and Zuck's like, "Oh, $6 billion," and then leaned over. I don't think he realized he was on a hot mic and said, "Yeah, I wasn't sure what number you wanted me to tell them." Really, dude? I mean, so complete BS. I mean, shocker. But I thought Zuck was smarter than that. Texas T, you've always picked up that he's a psychopath. Yeah, that's me too. He is a psychopath. That's just me picking what I pick up off his energy. But yeah, yeah, that one shouldn't be allowed out in daylight. Oh, I didn't hear that he hurts animals. Oh God, I don't want to know that. I was asked Skyfire. I was asking about the other countries going after Orange Clown. Uh, in what way? I must have missed something. Let me scroll back. Oh, for blowing up the boat. I gotcha. I gotcha. I don't think so. So here's the thing. So I've for a while now we've been reading on information's coming out, and there's going to be more on the Epstein files, there's going to be more on election fraud, there's going to be more on all these things coming out, and information is coming out. But I really feel that it's going to be people that he's ticked off around the world. Well, I think there'll be several different sources for this, but there will be sources outside of the United States that reveal Epstein information because they're mad at him. They can't stand him, and he's two-faced, and he can't keep a secret, and he's psycho, and he's gross, and literally nobody likes him. So, and everybody makes fun of him. He's truly an embarrassment, and doesn't even know that he is, which is even sadder. So will the other countries try to get back to it at him for the boat? I can read on it, but I don't think so. I think they're more worried about, let's see what we can expose, such as Epstein, so that they just get removed. And there's other things that will be exposed that will be treason related to. So as far as the boat goes, I don't think a war will come at it. I mean, everybody's so mad at him for so many different things. It's like add it to the list. That's the thing. Is Aqua 55 question: what is going to happen to people who have student loans and are now an income based? Oh God, I'm so sorry if this is you. That are now in income-based repayment plans. I'm 70 years old and live on Social Security, and I still have grad school loan balances. Let me write that down. That's a good question. Student loans. Repayment. I kind of feel like it's going to be rectified once we get rid of the regime, when we get a new president in. So I think it'll be a few years, but I feel like it will be rectified. But I'll read on that. Okay. Let's see what else. Mojo Kitty got a little bit of a question. I am wondering if the Epstein survivors will end up being heard, and if Congress will end up looking into it further, and something will end up happening. So, yes and yes and yes. That's the short answer. So last time I asked if the survivors, if they would expose their list, and I asked my dowsing rods, and they wouldn't give a straight answer. because it's still yet to be determined if they need to, because they're waiting for things to be revealed. Um, I I'm going to I'll ask on that again today. I want to ask different forms of the question, which may give a more clear answer from the rods too, because I feel like um, that information is in many different places, and I feel like there's so many powerful people that don't want that released. So that's the kicker, is how can it get released, and whoever releases it not have a hit put on them. Basically, I mean, and is it worth it for them to do that? That's the kind of two of coins that's going on with that. So but there are a lot of powerful people that most of the world's rulers and all of their ilk and their family and their friends and their business associates, judges, politicians, business CEOs. You're talking about the most powerful people all over the planet being a part of this. So for somebody to bring forth this information of who all is involved, that's a dicey game, because your lifespan may be significantly shorter than you plan on. You might fall out of a first story window and not get back up, if you catch my drift. So I feel like, yes, information will come out, but maybe not everybody will be on it, that kind of thing. But I do feel like information is going to be coming out from different sources and outside of the United States. If it was only up to what's in the United States, nah, they'll find a way to suppress it. But the fact that it's outside of the United States, yeah, and Congress, everybody in Congress knows what's going on. They know darn well who's on that list, or at least the people that affect them directly. There's a lot of them themselves that are on that list. A lot of judges, a lot of politicians. There's a reason why Grindr's shut down during the GOP convention. Don't think those people don't have a connection there. Throwing that out there. And it's not just the GOP. There are some Democrats, although predominantly it's the GOP. So, yeah, they know exactly what's on that list. They don't want the victims to be heard. People who are if you have half a brain cell, you're already listening to the victims, and you have been listening to the victims, and you already believe the victims. It's whether or not it's people choose to care. Right. And history has shown that typically most men don't care. And that is who is leading our country and our world for the most part, are men. So I don't think that's every man. That's not what I'm saying. But history has shown that predominantly men just don't care. That's not an issue that's important to them. It is an issue that's important to women, because typically we're the victims. Now, in this case, there are male victims also. I find it curious that there are no male victims that have come forward, though. But there are male victims. So I find that curious. But that being said, will Congress listen? Well, they already know. Will they do anything about it? That's the question. And yes, I think people aren't letting it go. And right now you've got a couple of Republicans. I do not trust MTG as far as I can throw her. Let me put that out there. I do not trust her in the slightest. She doesn't care. She's feigning giving a rip. And I think it's because she knows she's deeply unpopular. And what carried her through before was she was one of the Trump favorites. Well, now that she's out of favor, she needs to get back in favor, actually try to get back in favor with the people in order to get reelected. I think it'll be, I don't think it's going to work for her though. Just nobody likes her. Nobody likes her. Trump doesn't even like her. So now that she has to try to get her, her voting numbers up or her poll numbers up, now she's going to pretend to care. And it's a chess move because some megas are upset that the Epstein list isn't being released. So she's trying to tap into that vote is what she's doing. She could not care less, honestly. So that's her. But sorry, a little rant there. So, but I do think there will be other, because here's the thing. They've all been afraid to speak up against him because of his power and the threats that he's putting onto them. But they also all know that his days are numbered. And they're thinking, you're not going to be around much longer. So I need to make my move. So there's some that are going to strategically make their move to try to win favor amongst the megas and the other Republicans. And then they're going to bill it as, I'm not one of those Republicans. I'm a good old fashioned Republican. You want to vote for me. You don't want to vote for a Democrat. They're playing that chess game is what they're doing. I do think it'll go through because there's some Republicans. All rats leave a sinking ship, and they can, pardon the pun, smell him in the water. They know that he's a sinking ship. He's not going to be around much longer. It's very, very obvious. They all know. They all know what's going on. They're sworn to secrecy. They aren't allowed to say anything. But there are some that are going to, okay, I won't say anything, but I'm going to make my own power play, my own power move. So, yeah, I think there will be enough that it will go through. Being revealed. However, how much is redacted, just like they've done so far? So much is going to be redacted. It's not going to matter, right? Or not everything is going to be, it's not going to be complete. It still matters. It's not going to be complete. But that's where people from other countries can release things that are not redacted. That's where that comes in. And the victims at that point may very well come forward and go, yeah, great, you released, thousands of sheets, but they're all black lined, so nobody can read anything. So that tells you absolutely nothing. So here you go. Here's our list. So it's very possible they'll release their list. I think they're absolutely serious. They're like, either you out yourselves or we're going to out you. And yeah, I think they're serious. If that's what happens, I absolutely think they're going to do it. But I still think there's going to be outside forces from outside of the United States that are going to release information. Okay. Texas T. Yeah, I think other countries are scared to go after him because it's America and he's nuts. Yeah, nobody wants to start a war with us. And I really feel like everybody's biding their time until he takes a dirt nap. Honest to God. I think that's how the UN is feeling about it, because the UN is like, what is wrong with you nutbags? Like, seriously. But everybody's kind of just, they don't want to kick us out because he's not going to be around forever. Everybody's kind of sitting back and waiting to see what happens. What happens after he goes? Do we remain completely nuts? Do we keep voting for completely nuts? Do they keep cheating and winning on the completely nutty side? If that's the case, we'll full on be excommunicated. People will pick fights. It won't matter. But they're waiting to see what happens and will that regime be wiped out. If that regime is wiped out and we don't just turn around and reelect it again, then we can start trying to reestablish trust around the world and building our alliances back and all that. It's going to take some time. I think we're going to be watched through a few election cycles before we're fully trusted again, honestly. Some perpetrators will be revealed, not all of them. Many are not even alive anymore, so This has been going on a long time. Crockaraka! Hey, how are you? Cynthia says, I'm a Bernie progressive. Your situation fires me up too. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think we're all here because we all get politically triggered. I'm sorry, Miss Aqua. Mojo Kitty, when you go into not during the live, but in my description or in any of my videos, there are links or at least opportunities to copy and paste into a Venmo or an Amazon link to be able to donate to the channel if you so choose. So thank you very much. I would greatly appreciate that. That would be amazing. Very much appreciated. Very kind of you to ask. Texas Tea. It's so wild to me how politicians stand up and say how patriotic they are because it's a nice story, that's why, and then refuse to help citizens of the country have a better life because that's not what they care about. Their intention is not, they truly don't care. Now, I think there are some, for example, Kamala, I believe, did actually care. 99% of them, I don't think give a rip. Honestly, I think they do what will keep them elected, not because they care, but because it keeps them elected. So that's why our power is voting. Now, that being said, we need to straighten out this whole election fraud thing. So, in fact, Election Truth Alliance just came out yesterday. Hold on here. In my notes. Here it is. There are more red flags for possible stuffing the ballot or switching of votes in North Carolina. Enough that they put an announcement out for red flags. So North Carolina is the next target for Election Truth Alliance. So that needs to be taken care of, which is why F45 doesn't want everybody to have mail-in voting, because that is literally the most secure way to vote. Doing the electronic thing, that's a computer program. That's where Election Truth Alliance is finding that there are problems. So, but in this latest thing, it's looking like they're actually switching votes or stuffing votes in North Carolina, and that is mail-in. So, yeah, that needs to get a handle on. We need to get a handle on that, because otherwise people are not going to vote altogether, and then the regime wins anyway by apathy. So this is absolutely out of control. Election Truth Alliance, them and the court system are going to save our country, hands down. So if you have a chance to donate to Election Truth Alliance, please do, because they're doing some really, really good work. Will Trump go to England to meet with King Charles in 2 weeks? I can ask. He shouldn't be flying because of his heart condition, allegedly. 45C King. Also, if there's nothing in it for him, he won't. It'll only be to try to grift money. If he thinks he can grift somehow, he will. Thank you, Crockaraka. My necklace, a little amethyst necklace. Mojo Kitty, she's definitely trying to pump up her re-electability potential. Yeah, MTG, 100%. That's all she cares about. Texas Tea, Hillary was right. Deplorable is the perfect word for these people. Yeah. Yep. Cynthia, the UN voted to move to Switzerland today or yesterday. Goodbye, New York City. Geneva, hello. Yeah. Nobody likes us. We're, I don't blame them, and I think it's probably a good idea also, because I wouldn't trust whatever building that they were in. I wouldn't trust that it wouldn't be bugged to high heaven. I wouldn't trust F45 and the regime not to bug any UN building. and try to get information, because they know that the rest of the UN is not telling him everything because they don't trust him. So yeah, I'd be like, yep, we got to go, kids. Let's go. So yep, don't blame them. Midterms, how are those looking? We're going to have a blue wave. The kicker is going to be, do we have a handle on the voting problems? That's and a lot's coming out on this year, the rest of this year, on the election fraud. So that's going to be made a priority. So yeah, they'll have to. Okay. All right. I think I made it through everybody's questions so far. All right. So let's start going through some of the list. So did you guys see that basically F-45 declared war on Chicago? What did he say? I love the smell of deportation in the morning. Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War. I'm sorry, is that a threat? That the federal government is literally declaring war on a United States city and its citizens? Okay. That's a whole new level. They just leveled up on that one. So yeah, that's not cool. That is not cool. Also, who was it? I think it was Mark Elias from Democracy Docket. I think he was having an interview with Brian Tyler Cohen, and he said that if ICE were an army, which it basically is at this point, it would be the fourth largest army in the world. That was mind-blowing to me. I didn't realize there were that many. I mean, I knew there were a lot because they're all over the country, but I didn't realize it was to that degree. Which is going to bring out another issue, because the big barfy bill, of course, funneled a ton of money into ICE, but now Congress is back in session and we're having to balance a budget after taking that much money when they couldn't even balance the budget before, and now they're going to have to try to balance it now after all that money's gone. I mean, be prepared for a government shutdown. That could very well happen. I should ask that too. But you guys, we might have a lot of notes. And it goes into a second page. I mean, we may have to do another live, or this is going to be a really long one because we're almost at an hour and I haven't even done any card pulls yet. Yeah, and so did you know, fun fact, maybe you didn't know this, I don't know if you knew this or not, Oregon was the first sanctuary state, which is why F-45 has a big B in its bonnet for Oregon. It became the first sanctuary state in 1987. So this is not a new thing. It's been a thing for a while. And what kicked it off, the whole sanctuary state concept, began in 1977. In 1977, Delmiro Trevino walked into a bar in Independence, Oregon, which is by Salem, Oregon. If you know where Salem is, it's our capital in Oregon. Just by going, he walked into a bar after work in Independence, and which I love that name considering the topic. He was interrogated by police about his immigration status, which created a class action lawsuit brought to Oregon. It was brought to the Oregon Attorney General, and the Oregon legislature ended up passing House Bill 2314 on February 3rd, 1987, bipartisan support. So back before Republicans were as overtly racist as they are now, Uh, there's bipartisan support that passed in the legislature to codify the policy for the state of Oregon to be a sanctuary state. They were the first one in the country, and once they did it, then it spread to other states in the country. So that's why when you have a very racist president, he's going to it's going to be a bee in his bonnet, why he hates Portland and is always trying to send his goons to Portland, why he hates blue states and sanctuary states, because cities, but all of that. So yeah, we're in I live in the Pacific Northwest, so yeah, we're a target in the Pacific Northwest of his ire. But both Washington and Oregon have said we are both sanctuary states. As much as you don't want us to be, we have states' rights. We're not going to stop you from coming, but we're not going to aid you, because that is what our law says here. Both Oregon and Washington have said that. And that is what Chicago has said too, except Pritzker has leveled up and told him, like, oh, well, you're here illegally, so we can arrest you for being here illegally. And that's what kicked off this whole pissing match between the two. So that'll be interesting. Before that used a Vietnam era movie's villain for the meme. Oh, yeah. Well, he was wearing a cavalry hat. I don't know if you saw that in his meme for against Chicago. Oh, and then he yelled at the woman reporter. Did he call her nasty? That's like, when he doesn't like women, he calls them nasty. I never did get a nasty woman T-shirt. I should. I'm a nasty queen. I'm going to go slay. Tens of thousands of ICE agents, his own personal and private militia force of brown shirts. Yep, like his hero had in his day. All right. Let's start answering some questions. Good gravy. All I'm doing is talking. So let's ask about the boat he blew up. I wonder, somebody said they thought it might be AI. So that would be interesting too, because if it's not really a thing, then what's there to get upset about, right? That's his own little. Venezuela wouldn't be upset because it wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it is or not, but let's ask. Somebody mentioned that, and I'm like, oh, that's a curious thought. So, hey guys. Hello. Big white swings. Nice. Okay. Hey, that boat, that supposed drug running boat that F-45 had blown up, was that actually a real boat? They're not answering. Was it a drug running boat? No. Okay, so there's something about the way I asked it that it's not clear. Was it AI generated? Hold on here, I gotta get a hold of it. Was it an AI generated boat? No. So it was actually a boat that was out in the ocean. No. Okay, now I'm really confused. Um, was this just like an old film reel from something else that he completely made up? Yeah. So this didn't happen. He got this. This is like old military footage, basically, that he just recycled. Yep. No wonder they wouldn't answer. All right. And it was not AI generated, but it wasn't a current film reel or real film video reel. That's how old I am. Okay. So this is from a non-current event that he just obtained that video from. Correct. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So is Venezuela going to be all upset with him about that? No, because it's not current event, right? Yeah, there you go. So nobody's going to be upset with him because old information, not a thing. And whatever it actually had happened, uh, obviously was relevant at the time, or may have been relevant at the time. So he didn't actually even do anything. Total scam. Big shocker. That didn't even occur to me. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Yep. Seems like a bunch of politics is just faked, like this boat. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It all is, actually. It's a total show. All smoke and mirrors, kids. What a clown. Yep. That's exactly it. They lie about everything. Another attempt to distract from the Epstein. That's exactly what it is. Because when people were asking him about it, he's like, "Well, this is happening. Anything to try to pull a headline away from Epstein files, right? I don't. At this point, I don't care what you do. It's going to be okay. You fell out of the balcony window. Cool. Do we get to see the Epstein files? I mean, that's it's going to be the follow up question. He cannot get away from it. Yeah, that was good phrase, Texas T. All smoke and mirrors. That's exactly what it is. So that didn't even occur to me. Wow. Okay. Well, good. Not current. Nobody got hurt. Okay. Okay, so that one's checked off. Let's talk about North Carolina Election Truth Alliance. Okay. So Election Truth Alliance has noted red flags for possible stuffing or switching of votes in the North Carolina presidential election. Are they going to be able to be granted a recount in North Carolina? Yes. Is it going to show that they actually voted blue? Yes. That North Carolina was blue. Yes. Okay. Well, this is going to follow along. So once we have the recount, there's going to be Pennsylvania and New York recounts. Once those, it's just going to be like dominoes falling. They're going to recount everything and find out how much was fraud at that point. Once the first domino falls, then it's just going to go from there. Is that correct? Yeah. Basically, all the recounts are going to be granted at that point. Yep. Never thought North Carolina would go blue. Oh, okay. Oh, so which brings about do we will a recount be granted before the end of this year for North Carolina? For North Carolina, probably they're going to want to recount everything by the end of the year, right? Yep. Yeah, Kamala did win all the swing states. I guarantee you that. Well, let me ask. That's just me. Let me ask. Did Kamala win all the swing states? Yes. Did you see this thing? It flipped back and hit my hair. That was a yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it just keeps hitting my head. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, she won. She won most of this country. I think. Well, let me ask: is there any state that Kamala did not win? Yes. Okay, so she didn't win every state. Is that correct? Yes, but she sure won most of them. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I know. Kamala. Oh my God. Which is you, the thing that I think she's the most angry about, which I am as well, is that she knew at the time it was stolen. And so did Joe. And so did everybody else. And they told her to sit down because they didn't want another January 6th. Now, this is just me. I think I've read on this before. I'm happy to ask questions again, but information I my intuition says she knew darn well that she won. She knew darn well that it was stolen, and she was told to sit down. Yeah, I'd be torqued too. I'd be really mad. I'd be really mad. And I wouldn't want to run again either. What's the point? What's the point? People don't want women as presidents, and they certainly don't want a black woman as president, right? God forbid that you not have a penis in that chair. I mean, sorry. I think I can use that term YouTube because it is a body part. I don't know. We'll see. Is that what happened? She was told to sit down. Yep. Yep. Oh, I'd be so mad if I were her. Oh my God. There will be a woman president. I don't think it'll be this next cycle, but there will be. It's coming. But I mean, I don't think they dare do one this time around because they don't want to take the chance of not of it. They don't want to take the chance of it going Republican. We can't afford to take the chance, basically. And so it's going to be probably Gavin Newsom is going to be my guess because he's holding strong. God bless that man and whoever's running his meme department. It's fantastic. I love it. I love they're giving it right back at him, and he has no idea how to respond to it. It's amazing. Okay. So talked about that. Oh, by the way, the UN considers seeking asylum a fundamental human right, and it is legal in the United States. As much as they're all being deported right now, the UN, it goes firmly against the UN principles and policies. But the UN again is waiting for him to take a dirt nap and just hoping that we get rid of him. But I think that is part of because he's breaking UN principles and policies too. That's part of why somebody from the UN is going to step forward and help. But they can't be seen as helping, or participants can't be seen as helping because they may have to step in and facilitate the void of power that's going to happen when the regime gets wiped out. So it's politics. Oh, somebody asked, will F-45 see King Charles? Let's ask about that. Yeah, the young Latina gal is in charge of Newsom's new Vitality. Yeah, she's in charge of his social media, and she's brilliant. I would love to meet her in person. That would be, let's go have some coffee, sister, because I want to hear all the stories. I would love that. Oh, that would be amazing. Okay. Well, okay. So will F-45 go to see King Charles in a couple of weeks? Yeah, they're saying yes. So now the question is, what's in it for him? Is there a reason why he's going to see him? Yeah. Why? Who requested it? Was it F-45 that requested it, or was it Charles? Was it F-45? Was it Charles that requested it? I feel like something's up. There's something that Charles wants to convey to him. Is that correct? The royal involvement with Epstein. Mm-hmm. Is that why he wants to see? Is that why Charles wants to talk to F-45? Is the Prince Andrew issue with Epstein? Yep. That's not what we're going to hear on the media, but yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be some agreements made, basically. Yeah. F-45 knows there's a leak coming, doesn't he? Yeah, he knows it's coming. And people are positioning themselves in power right now. The royal family can't have that kind of a scandal again, allegedly for entertainment and spiritual purposes only. Yeah. So that's what it is. So yeah, they'll meet. Deals are being made before the dirt nap happens. Just making sure that things are secure. The right things are in place. Mm-hmm. Because information, yeah, I'm not sure it'll. He may take a dirt nap. They may be waiting for him to take a dirt nap before the information gets released because they all know it's coming. Let me see. Unless it just drags on too long. And then that's another story. Are they waiting for him to take a dirt nap before they release information? Mm-hmm. Yeah, things are being put in place. Plans are being made for this whole chess game. Mm. Texas T, hoping he has a long, long flight or a very quick landing. Yep. Safe travels. Okay. So I talked about the spawn of Satan being psycho. I think all know who we're talking about. Let me know if you don't. um, Somebody asked if there were issues with crypto. I mean, I'll read on it, but yeah, they're all as crooked as you come, including that one. Um, but yeah, is the youngest spawn of Satan going to have some crypto issues and legal issues? Yes. Yep. Um, are there still treason charges that are going to be presented to F-45 and the whole regime? Yes. And that hits my shoulder when I say that. Is he having health issues? Well, I mean, kind of, yeah. Is that why he disappeared last week? I've read on that before too, but yes. Yeah. So when I read on this before, it may have been my last live. I don't remember. It all is kind of a blur in my brain. I remember when I tapped into it, it was like I had trouble breathing, and I asked if they needed to drain fluid off of his lungs. You know, like when you have heart issues, you can get fluid buildup. There's like a sac that goes outside of the lungs that can fill up with fluid, and they need to drain that. That's what I feel like they had done. And the dowsing rods confirmed it. So there was medical procedure, and he needed to like chill out and stay below the radar. And I also think that picture that supposedly he came out on the balcony or whatever, there was a long grainy picture somebody took from way, way away of supposedly him. I think that was a double. I don't think that was him. Okay. Something like that. Oh. Is there going to be a government shutdown? Very possibly, yeah. Is there a possibility they could work things out so that there's not a shutdown? So at the last minute they'll work something out? Yeah. Are they just going to kick the can down the road basically and pause it, whatever they do? I forget what to call it. Yeah. They'll just keep kicking the can down the road. We're never going to, as long as Republicans are there, we're never going to have a budget of any kind. Okay. And then the student loan repayment. Ms. Aqua, I think you wanted me to read on that, right? So let me know if you want a different aspect of whatever I read on here too, if I need to read on something like that. So the student loan repayment plans. This is going to hurt a lot of people, isn't it? Yeah. So but they're doing it based on income, right? So, but everybody's still having to pay some. Yes. Okay. So, Do we see this being rectified in the future as soon as we get rid of this regime? I feel like it won't be right away, though. Okay, let me focus my question here. The guides are like, pick something. Um, will it be rectified in the future that people will be relieved of their debt? Yes. Are they going to have to wait maybe 2 to 3 years before this is rectified? Sorry, hold on. Are they going to have to wait 2 to 3 years before this gets rectified? Yes. Could it be longer than that? Um, could be, but probably not. But likely it'll be about 2 to 3 years before there's relief that comes. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So yeah, I think it's going to be around a bit until we get new government. That it's going to take a while to dig out of this mess, I think. So it's just going to be like one of many things. Let me know if you have any other aspects of that question that I need to ask. All right. I think I've gotten to about everything. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The big Barfy bill put $100 billion towards ICE. $100 billion. But we can't help people with their student loans. We can't, give people food stamps or Medicare or Medicaid, but we can put magically just come up with $100 billion to put towards ICE. It's amazing when they want something to be done, just money just magically appears. Now, we're trillions of dollars in debt. There is that. How are they going to rectify that in any kind of a budget? And uh, if anybody ever says the Republican Party is fiscally responsible, I hope you just laugh in their face, because that's just ridiculous. That is not the case. The last one to balance the budget was Clinton. Actually balanced it. And then Bush came along. And there that went. Okay. I think. Oh, I knew I was missing something. Somebody asked. I laughed so hard. Good old Mikey said that F-45 is an FBI informant. That's why he spent so much time with Epstein. I laughed so hard when I heard that. But somebody wants me to ask about that, saying that. So first of all, F-45's dad, totally connected to the mob, and so is F-45, and he still is, and they are connected with Putin and Russia and all of the dregs of society of the world that have all of the money. They're all connected. So, was F-45? Did he turn on the mob? My opinion, no. Let's see what happened. No, he didn't. It's a complete BS story. No, he would never turn on the mob. No. Um, and is he an informant, an FBI informant? No. That's just me. We're going to ask. I could be wrong. We'll see. Okay. I can't even ask this question. Oh my God. I'm going to start from the beginning. F-45's dad was firmly entrenched with the mob, correct? Yes. As is F-45, correct? Yes. Oh, Susie, I'll ask that. I'll ask that too. Okay. And okay, so did F-45 ever turn on the mob and spy on Epstein to be, was he an confidential informant, and that's why he hung around Epstein, was to gather information for the FBI? No. No. Would he? Yes, and yes, he was and is a Russian agent. But the story that that little Mikey told was that he spent time with Epstein because he was an FBI um, confidential informant. So, is that a true statement? No. No, it is not. Is he connected? Is he a Russian agent? Yes. Does he report to Putin? Yes. Or whoever's playing the role of Putin right now. Yes, because I think the real one is dead. So that's just me. Is the real one dead? Yes. Is he taking a dirt nap? Yes. So they have people playing the role of Putin because it serves the storyline for the country and he maintains power and blah, 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 blah. So, okay. Does that answer that question? Do you guys have any other aspects of that question that you want me to ask? If you do, I'll ask them. But no, he's far too stupid to be an informant. And nobody would trust him. He's an idiot. No, he liked Epstein because he likes children, and so does Epstein. Does whatever, and they were buddies. They were best buds. Okay, okay. So we are well over an hour. But I'm going to do, because I haven't done a card pull yet, let's just do a general card read for everybody to see what's going on. I feel like this is going to be kind of a dicey week. More and more and more information's coming out. More election information's coming out. More Epstein information's coming out. More underhanded information about treason is coming out and how they've done nothing good for this country and have in fact sought to undermine us. So, okay, so let's read on what's a message for the collective this week. What's something that we all should be focused on this week? Let me see. Do this real quick. What is a collective for the message for the or message for the collective this week? There's something I want to get to. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, um, things are going to continue to get tighter financially for everybody. Texas T, yeah, he did say the youngest he'll go is 12. Well, yeah, I have a feeling he's gone younger than that. But anyway, um, things are going to continue to get tighter and tighter for the next few months. So just a heads up, I would start. I like just got if you have whatever your holiday plans are, start planning now. Um, start working on homemade crafts as gifts or activities as gifts. Try to reserve your resources. The tariffs, I know where I work, everything is being increased in October by 15% because of the tariffs. So that's just my industry. Um, things are going to get even tighter. So mind your resources. Do what you can. Start planning now for um, holidays, things like that. But try to be as conservative as you can to just mind your resources for a while. This is not going to be alleviated for a while. So hang in there. But that's the first card out of the gate is the Five of Pentacles, which is, you know, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a little rough for a bit. And crossing that is the Emperor. So he who shall not be named is the reason why we're having to all go through this. We all know this. Tariffs are really, everything is going to start to go up significantly. And if you're already having trouble making ends meet, then it's not going to get better for a while. So start. I don't say this to panic you. I say this to I've been taking soup to work. That's what I'm eating for lunch is soup, right? So a lot of times what I'm eating for dinner is soup. So because I can buy a can of soup and get through the week basically by eating soup. Whatever you can do. Pasta is another good one. Beans and rice, another good one. We've been doing bean and cheese burritos and for dinner, that kind of thing. So whatever you can do to get by. If there are any subscriptions or anything you can cut out, it's going to be even tighter. And I'm so sorry to have to tell you this, but it's not going to get better for a little while. So, and he's the reason why, even when he takes his dirt nap, it's going to take a while to rectify some of this. So just hang on. It's not forever, but it is going to be for a little bit. So start making holiday plans now if you haven't already, doing homemade gifts, baking cookies, although it's cheaper to buy cookies than bake them anymore, I swear to God, or anything else. But, things that you can do as gifts that are more crafty, or if it can save you money by making something, try to do that. There's several years where I've given gift baskets to to the family, and I have two brothers and my parents and the grandparents. I would give here's your family gift basket, and put together different things. And I made my own, hot cocoa. I'd give them jars of hot cocoa that they could use. That was really creamy and good, that kind of stuff. Whatever you can do to alleviate the pressures of the holidays coming up, try to do that. So start planning now is what I'm hearing, just so that you don't end up in a real big bind later. And, just try to be mindful of resources, which is the foundation. That's exactly what this is. So this is Four of Pentacles. These are your resources. Be mindful of your resources. This is being emphasized. So try to hang on to what you've got. Start asking yourself when you go to get things, is this a need or is this a want? Do I need to have this for my survival, or do I want this because I want it? Start asking yourself that. If it's a want, consider not getting it, at least for now. Not forever, but for now. If it's a need, then it's a need. Like you have to get medication, right? You have to get food. What food are we getting? I don't eat much meat anymore because it's too expensive. So, I do soup, or I do beans, or I do, whatever. There are different things that I do that, or pasta, that kind of thing. Whatever you can do to conserve and mind your resources, start asking yourself, is this a need or is this a want? Try as much as you can to put the wants aside and just get what you need, and try to, reserve the rest. The good news, now that we got that part out of the way, the good news, moving into the past, the thieves are going to move into the past. So the thieves right now, because remember, he's the reason why we're having to conserve as much as we are. The thieves are going to be moving into the past. So it's for this to show up in this reading, like immediately following this, tells me this is going to start to be rectified very soon. So just hang in there. Don't panic, but be smart, right? Don't freak out and don't panic, just be smart. um, I found there's a couple YouTube channels of some cooks that they do frugal baking and stuff. And there's one I saw. She made bread with flour and vanilla yogurt, 2 ingredients, period, and it makes like sandwich bread. I'm totally going to try that because that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Okay. Anyway, the thieves are moving into the past. So very soon their comeuppance is coming, and crowning all of this is the Ace of Pentacles. This is the brand new plan. So if they're moving into the past and this is crowning everything, this is good. That means there are plans behind the scenes already in action. We're on our way. We who have very little control over it just need to hang in there. So for the time being, be mindful of your resources. Okay. That's what Spirit is really trying to be like. Don't panic. I keep hearing this. Don't panic. I don't want to scare you, but be smart. And moving into the future, new leadership. So that should make you feel better. Well, hopefully. Even if Vance is in there for a little bit, nobody's going to like him either. But the whole regime is going to go. So it won't be for long. I don't think it'll be for long if he gets in there. It all depends on the timing of everything. Internally, everybody's like, just focus on do what you need to do. This is your work, your job, whatever you need to do to make more money. If you can pick up extra gigs, great. I've definitely done my share of DoorDash, for example. Whatever you can do to work and continue your money, right now it's an employer's market. So if you don't like your job, do not quit until you know you have another one. Just going to throw that out there. If you're thinking of leaving your job, you better make sure you have another one to go to. So just keep working hard, keep your head down, do what you need to do, conserve your resources, get your needs, let the wants go for now. Not now, for now is not forever, just for now. But this is internally, just working and doing your thing and being smart. Externally, a lot of strength. So we're going to need some strength moving forward, but so are all the whistleblowers. So are all the people that are coming out with information. We need to send energy their way that they have the strength and the wisdom to do this and do it smart and do it fast, do it soon, right? Like, we need you to do this soon. So we all need strength. They need the strength to do what they need to do. We need strength to hang in there while this nonsense is going on. Hopes and fears, the illusion and delusion, 7 of Cups. A lot of spin. As we've already talked about it tonight, politics is just all spin and stories and smoke and mirrors, right? Texas Tea, I think you said that. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's what it is. So there's very little that we're actually going to know for sure what is said or what is done or what's going on or whatever. So just that's why I say, be aware of what's going on, but focus on your resources and your life and keeping your own house together, because there's very little of that we have control over. We can go to protests, certainly, all for that. We can contact our representatives, absolutely. But in the end, we still have to pay our bills and we still have to figure out how to feed our family. So don't let this overtake your mental rent. Don't let them live rent free in your head, right? Be aware, but don't be freaked out, because it's not forever and they're getting ready to go bye-bye. So just hang in there. You can do this. Hang in there. And the final outcome, which is interesting, is the 4 of Swords. So this is, oh, interesting. Sorry, just kidding. Spirit's saying to take a rest. If you need to step back and take some rest, then do that. It's okay. They know what's going on. Spirit realm knows what's going on. They're doing their work. Their things are in place to make the dominoes fall. Be aware, don't be scared, but take a break and rest when you need to. When you're done resting, get up and go again. Self-care. Don't forget about your self-care. Take care of you, take care of your family, do what you need to do, because when this is over, we need everybody on board to bring in the new love and light world. So take rest if you need to. So that is the reading for now. Let me look through comments real quick. Text T, your family decided that only the kids get gifts this year. Yeah, that's a good plan. The Crocaraca, yeah, the hard part is the mental part. It can be, yeah. That's why I say that. It's, be mindful of what we actually have control over. The reality is very little. And that's the frustrating part, because we're humans and humans love to have control of things because that's in our survival DNA. If you don't have control, then we go into fight or flight, and we feel like, we could die if we don't have control. Quite literally, that's in our instincts, right? But the reality is this will not last forever. We need to just be mindful of our resources, know that better forces are at work here. Things are already in action. Keep watching this week, next week. Each week that goes by, more and more and more information is coming out. And he is going to be taking a dirt nap soon. We only buy for our kids, and grandparents buy for the kids. Yeah. So, yeah, do what you can. Just keep it simple. And maybe a gift is everybody comes over for game night. Maybe a gift is free babysitting. Maybe a gift is, do a little coupon book. Remember coupon books? Do coupon books of, a night of babysitting, or I'll come over and make you, your favorite dinner, or, do coupon books of things. So those are fun ideas. And you can do some fun things on Canva now too. So be creative, be mindful, don't be scared. Pay attention, but don't be scared. Just mind your resources, set your intentions with the full moon, and make your action plans. Take care of you. We need you when this is over to help move our planet forward. And just, everybody hang in there. But thank you all for being a part of the channel. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's been an hour and a half, so I'm gonna I'm gonna go. But Thursday is Golden Girls Coffee Clatch with Marina and Sherry, and Cleo is going to be joining us, and I think we'll be on Sherry's channel, which is Voices from the Swamp. So I'll put information on that out in the posts, but just wanted to give you a heads up that 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern will be Golden Girls Coffee Clatch on Thursday. So thanks, everybody. Love you guys. Have a great evening. Have a great week, and peace out.